Teen Titans number 10, Benjamin Percy writing. We have Coy. This is really weird. We got two artists, right? And I guess this was like a, we need to finish this in time kind of thing. I don't think this one suffers like Flash did though. But the reason why I'm pausing to tell you about this before I say the names is I think it's really funny how these two last names are really similar, barring one letter. We have Koi Fam and Pop Mam. And they're both spelled Ham at the end of the last names, and I think that's really funny. But it was like we don't quite have relatives, but we have two people who have very similar sounding names. Let's just put them together. It's just a film
and very similar penciling styles.
Because it doesn't jar.
They meld very well.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of looking for it because it said very specifically at the start that it switches after page 16. It wasn't like it was like, bits and pieces. It was no. First 16 pages is Koi Fam, who's been the regular artist, and then Pop Mam for the rest of it. Pop Mam's a really fun name. Pop Mam.
And I like their style too. Like the way that they draw Starfire. Really.
Yeah, I like so the big things in this issue. Of course, we're continuing with the Aqualad story, and Black Manta, of course, showed up at the end of the last issue. Aqualad jumps in, Jackson jumps in to sort of defend his mother. It's like, if you want me, take me. So Black Manta takes him, and Jackson's mother shows up at the Titan's Tower and asks for help, which leads the plot going forward. But the other big thing in this issue is that Beast Boy, when he's out with Starfire, starts to question. It's like, Robin's been a dick. He's probably fired Jackson just like he fired Wally. We need to do something. Raven, of course, is also like nagging Robin. What's his face? Damien. Took me a while. Like, sometimes names just escape your head. Okay, she's nagging Damien. It's like, oh, you're being a dick. You fired. You're trying to justify it to yourself, and you're being too hard on Jackson to make yourself feel better. And because Damien's even asking Batman for advice, like, oh, how do you keep the Justice League in line, Dad? How do you do that?
I don't.
Pretty much. And it's shown that Damien, despite the fact that he thinks he's the best there is to lead the team, he's not actually prepared for it. And it pairs up nicely with the Starfire stuff because Beast Boy's like, you're the oldest, and he doesn't actually say this next part, but she was also on the previous Teen Titans. She's an original, New Titans member. So it feels like she should be the leader. She's the legacy. She's the older legacy character who should be the one leading the team.
Right.
So when Jackson's mother comes in and all of this starts going down, Damien's still being a little dick. So Starfire basically just by default jumps into leader mode and starts giving out orders like, Beast Boy, go and do this with the ocean. Raven, go do this. Contact Tempest because we need some experience with Black Manta. And then she's like, Damien, you go do this. And he's like, but it's like, no, we don't have time for this. Just go do it. And he begrudgingly just goes and does it. And I think this will be a really fun kind of turn for Damien, where maybe he does give up being leader to Starfire for a while, because maybe he'll learn that he isn't quite ready right now to do that job. Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody's John. Like, John will just listen to him because he has seniority, He doesn't necessarily have seniority over any of these others. Maybe Wally and Aqualad, but the rest of them have been doing stuff for a little bit at least.
Yeah. I mean, it depends to the point. Like how long in the New 52 universe, has Beast Boy been around? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of wishy-washy in that sense. But...
Oh man, remember when he was part of the Red and he was red? I
don't actually, but
I do. Man, but no, it was good, and I like how they dealt with Black Manta here. I like his, he's a rogue. He's a treasure hunter.
He is, yeah. Because the whole thing, we get this backstory how he the reason why he even got with Jackson's mother, because she was obviously from Zebel, which is the same place as Mira. So that's why she can do all the water trickery. But so he's after the Black Pearl, which it was giving me some weird Pirates of the Caribbean thoughts, which I don't like having.
You couldn't name it anything else. You had to call it the Black Pearl. It's the same thing Jack Sparrow goes after, man.
But he's looking for that, and she helps him find this necklace thing that's like a map to it. It's very Indiana Jones. It's very treasure hunting sort of malarkey.
Hence why I liked it.
But it's all underwater, of course. But he's taking Jackson because Jackson's got the necklace, and he's taking Jackson to this location that they're trying to find the Black Pearl. And obviously it ends with a big cliffhanger that they get to the Black Pearl. This seems too easy. There's a giant squid monster thing, big octopus monster attacking them. and that's all fine and well. But what I loved about this, right? So we get all this backstory and stuff, and Jackson's like trying to like talk to him. He's like, he's like, don't talk to me. I don't care about you being my son. And it's kind of like what you said in Flash about sometimes apathy's worse than hate. Because Jackson's like telling him about his life. He's like, oh, my favourite band's this, I do this, I have these interests, this is what I'm like. And then he adds at the end, and I'm gay, right? He adds that on at the end. And Black Manta, and this, I mean, I don't know, maybe someone who's actually came out to the parents can tell me if this is worse than that. But I have to imagine that, like, even worse than, oh, you're gay? Oh my god. Like, that reaction where they're opposing to the idea. Is that better or worse than what Black Manta does, where he just turns around and says, do you think I care? You're just meat. Like,
we're all just meat. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Like,
the only reason he even cares about this kid is because he has the necklace. Like him being his son doesn't even matter.
I mean, the apathy there is... I mean, I suppose it's not comparable to a regular parent freaking out because their kid's gay, because at least in that situation, the parent was already, like, having a relationship and they already cared about them. So that's, like, taking away the illusion that they cared about them no matter what. Whereas here, this is, like, oh, long lost father's a complete evil dickhead who does not care about me at all. Like... so it's almost like Jackson's reaching for that moment where he wants to come out to his father. It's like a big moment in his life because it's a big part of him, and his father's like, I don't give a shit.
Well, and you get the fact that that Manta and his dad were close because they bring it back up here. They would do treasure hunts together, and he's doing this all in his dad's memory. Like,
Black Manta's dad, not Jackson's foster father. The way he said that, the sentence sounded like you were talking about Jackson's dad.
No, but so... And we should touch that the Black Pearl also can like control storms. Like a famous pirate had it, and Atlantis and the surface world had come together to stop her.
Yeah, that was an interesting part of the history here. That Atlantis and the surface world joined forces because this threat was too big. So
I like that.
Stuff,
maybe shades of Seven Seas coming. I don't know, but I liked all that, and I like Black Manta when he's not the head of some weird undersea evil organization. So
that is fair.
Yeah, he's just a great villain because he has no setting other than himself. Like, he only wants to kill Aquaman because he holds Aquaman responsible for his dad's death. And other than that, he doesn't care. It's a personal revenge style, and that I think that breaks him out from other Justice League villains.
No, I honestly, I've always been into Black Manta just because I thought his helmet looked cool.
He's got a cool look, for sure.
Yeah, I like the idea that an evil scuba diver is Aquaman's arch nemesis. There's just something kind of cool about that. But I like what it's doing with this family stuff to set him up. I'm liking what it's doing with Damien's, like, should he be a leader? Should Starfire be the leader? I'm really excited to explore that. I think this issue, one of the best this series has had, actually. I think maybe it's finding its feet. Maybe Percy. Maybe I'm just saying that because the first arc was actually a lot of fun. I think it was just because we had that weird misstep with the crossover, which kind of felt like a damper in all of the books involved. Like, all of them feel like they kind of had this down point because of that crossover, because it wasn't that good. But now we're back into the main things, and Deathstroke was pretty good. Desmond, Teen Titans was pretty good. Titans was enjoyable. So
we got through that, and we know now too that the writer didn't want it to be this big crossover. He just wanted it to happen in the pages of Deathstroke. So.
Which, I mean, and I've said this before about these crossovers being so quick. The upside is that, okay, it wasn't that good, but it was over in a month, and we're back to things being good.
Short memories.
So I can't complain too much, I suppose.